The following is a class given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on March 3rd, 2015 in Sri Mayapur, India. The class was given on day 4 of the Caitanya Lila Seminar on the Lotus Building rooftop.
Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nidisesa Sanavadi Pachatya Desatarine. Karoti Dhacharan Pangolangaya Tegaran Yatkita Tavad Mande Sigo Nidharam Parmananda Madhavam Sri Caitanya Ishram Hariom Tatsat. If you can hear, then repeat what I say.
If you can hear, then repeat what I say.
Very good.
Very good.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No.
Very good.
Very good.
So, last night, after 2:55, I couldn't sleep.
So last night, after 2:55, I couldn't sleep.
I was excited.
I was excited.
I was thinking that there's one thing, maybe many things, but at least one thing which I didn't tell in the Caitanya Lila book.
I was thinking there was one thing, there may be many things, but there was one thing that I didn't tell in the Prabhupada Lila book.
I only told more or less the things which were directly affecting me.
I only told the things, more or less, that were directly affecting me.
But Prabhupada, in the 10 years he associated, he told me many things.
But Prabhupada, in the 10 years that we associated, he told me many things.
I wasn't always the only person there.
I wasn't always the only person there.
Others may have heard these things.
Others may have heard these things.
I don't know whether others wrote.
I don't know whether others wrote.
Or what they wrote.
Or what they wrote.
I can only say from my perspective what I heard.
I can only say from my perspective what I heard.
And my memory may not be perfect.
And my memory might not be perfect.
But things like what Prabhupada told about himself.
But things like what Prabhupada told about himself.
What Prabhupada concerns about ISKCON. Prabhupada's concerns about ISKCON.
Prabhupada's concerns about ISKCON.
Prabhupada's comments about the Gaudiya Math,
Prabhupada's comments about the Gaudiya Math,
his comments on the history
his comments on the history
as it unfolded before him, his comments on his previous acharyas,
his comments on the previous acharyas,
and such things, which are things that you tell to your friends maybe.
which I think you can tell to your friends maybe.
So being in his association for so many years,
So being in his association for so many years,
he sometimes would open up and say something.
he sometimes would open up and say something.
So should I reveal these things?
So should I reveal these things?
I've never done before.
I've never done it before.
You won't be frustrated. You want to hear Caitanya Lila?
You won't be frustrated? You want to hear Caitanya Lila?
I'll tell some other Caitanya Lila maybe at the end. Just
I'll tell some other Caitanya Lila, maybe at the end.
little cherry on the top.
The cherry on the top.
I Prabhupada told how
Prabhupada told how
when he was a little boy,
when he was a little boy,
his father would take him shopping,
his father would take him shopping,
and his father bought him a pistol, a toy pistol.
and his father bought him a pistol.
He said he saw in the movie had two pistols.
You saw in the movies with two pistols.
He wanted two.
There were two.
He wanted two.
He wanted two.
One not enough. And then his father bought him two when he was 4 years old.
So his father bought him two when he was 4 years old.
And everyone would visit the house.
And everyone would visit the house.
His father would ask, "Please have Radharani bless my son."
His father would ask, "Please have Radharani bless my son."
And he told how he would read
And he told how he would read
the train schedule
the train schedule
to Jagannath Puri.
to Jagannath Puri.
He always wanted to go to Jagannath Puri.
He always wanted to go to Jagannath Puri.
And he'd calculate, leave this time, he'd arrive then, how much it cost.
He would calculate if he leaves at this time, what time he'd arrive, and how much it would cost.
So he was very eager to see Lord Jagannath.
So he was very eager to see Lord Jagannath.
And then how he wanted to have his own Rath Yatra.
And how he wanted to have his own Rath Yatra.
So his father,
So he brought his father.
his father purchased an old Rath Yatra car.
So his father purchased an old Rath Yatra car.
And then they had it done out and repainted, it looked brand new.
Then they had it repainted to look brand new.
And they had small deities of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra.
And they had small deities of Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra.
And Prabhupada and his friends.
And Prabhupada and his friends.
And there was also a kirtan party.
There was also a kirtan party.
They had their own Rath Yatra in the Prabhupada was about 6 years old at Harrison Road.
They would have their own Rath Yatra when Prabhupada was about 6 years old on Harrison Road.
Harrison Road is the road that runs from the Howrah Bridge and Howrah Station.
Harrison Road is the road that runs from the Howrah Bridge to the Howrah Station.
Oh. It goes Station, Bridge, Calcutta.
It goes Station, Bridge, Calcutta.
The Harrison Road is in Calcutta.
So Harrison Road is in Calcutta.
It's been since renamed as Mahatma Gandhi Road.
It's been since renamed as Mahatma Gandhi Road.
So his father would worship the deities.
So his father would worship the deities.
So he wanted to also worship the deities.
So he wanted to also worship the deities.
But his father said, when you get bigger,
But his father said, when you get bigger,
you have to have initiation.
you have to have initiation.
So, but he gave him some clay deities,
So he gave him some clay deities.
small Radha Krishna deities.
They were small Radha Krishna deities.
And so he would watch his father and he would do arti and dress the deities and bathe them.
So he would watch his father, and then he would do arti, and he would watch the deities and bathe them.
So when he entered when he finished the high school,
So when he finished high school,
he entered into the Scottish Church's College.
he entered into the Scottish Church's College.
And he gave his deities to his younger sister.
And he gave his deities to his younger sister.
And she would worship them since then.
And she would worship them since then.
So, like this, he said that the Scottish men were the teachers.
So like this, he said that the Scottish men were teachers.
So, he learned English from the Scottish.
So he learned English from the Scottish.
And Nadaji Subhash Chandra Bose was one class higher than him.
And Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was in one class higher than him,
but in the same college.
but in the same college.
And so all the youth then was into the freedom movement.
So all the youth then was into the freedom movement.
They wanted to free India from the British
They wanted to free India from the British
and be a free nation.
and be a free nation.
So one of his friends told him,
So one of his friends told him
come and see Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
to come and see Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
But he didn't have a good experience with the sadhus.
But he didn't have a good experience with the sadhus.
He thought most sadhus were not very knowledgeable.
He thought most sadhus were not very knowledgeable.
And he just has a bad opinion about sadhus.
He just had a bad opinion about sadhus.
But his friend insisted that he come and meet Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada.
But this friend insisted that he come and meet Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada.
That time he was staying in North Calcutta,
That time, he was staying in North Calcutta
in Ulta Dinga Road.
on Uttar Dinga Road,
Ulta Dinga Road,
Ulta Danga Road,
which ISKCON has bought since then.
which ISKCON has bought since then.
Just as a side information.
Just as a side information.
So there, Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada was sitting under a jackfruit tree.
So there, Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada was sitting under a jackfruit tree.
And he went to see him.
And he went to see him.
And his opinion was completely different.
And his opinion was completely different.
He saw that, well, here is a very sincere person.
He saw that, well, here is a very sincere person.
And on the first meeting, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he said, since you know English,
Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said that since you know English,
you should go to the English-speaking countries and preach Krishna consciousness.
you should go to the English-speaking countries and preach Krishna consciousness.
And then he said, what will they listen from a person from a dominated country?
Then he said,
Something like that.
Then he said, what will they listen to a person from a dominated country? Said something like that.
We're not a free country, so why will they listen to us?
We're not a free country, so why will they listen to us?
And basically, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur smashed him.
And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur smashed him.
That this transcendental message is not subject to all this external political situations.
That this transcendental message is not subjected to any of these political situations.
And so they had some discussion.
So they had some discussion.
And Prabhupada said that he had decided that if I take initiation,
And Prabhupada said that he decided, if I take initiation,
he's my guru.
he is my guru.
This one.
This one. He's different.
And so then he wanted, it was in India at that time, everybody got married very early.
So in India at that time, everyone got married very early.
So he thought he wanted to marry a very beautiful girl.
So he thought he wanted to marry a very beautiful girl.
And he suggested that to his father.
And he suggested that to his father,
The particular girl.
a particular girl.
But his father didn't agree.
But his father didn't agree.
His father rather arranged for him to marry
His father rather arranged for him to marry
a somewhat plainer wife.
some plainer wife.
And Prabhupada saw that in his father's wisdom.
And Prabhupada saw that in his father's wisdom,
He didn't want me to get tied down to the family too much.
He didn't want me to get tied down to the family too much.
So that I could be free
So that I could be free
later on.
later on.
Instead of me marrying someone that I would be very attached to,
Instead of marrying me to someone I would be very attached to,
marry someone that would just so okay.
I married someone who was just so, okay.
These are my words, okay?
These are my words.
Say less beautiful.
Say less beautiful.
Anyway,
Anyway,
so I think that sometimes you're just little things that talk about.
sometimes it would just be little things with Prabhupada.
He'd say how his father
He would say how his father
had a cloth shop.
had a cloth shop,
How in the cloth shop the rice would come and nibble the cloth.
how in the cloth shop mice would come and nibble the cloth.
And so that way the cloth would be spoiled
So in that way, the cloth would be spoiled
and you couldn't sell it.
and you couldn't sell it.
So every day his father would eat a bowl of rice.
So every day, his father would leave a bowl of rice.
So the mice ate that
So the rice ate that.
rice.
The mice.
What kind of mice does he know? Or rice does he know? Rice that eats mice? So he was saying that just like give you a little cup of rice,
So he was saying that just by a little cup of rice,
the mice would eat the cloth alone.
the mice would leave the cloth alone.
So he was saying when he was a child how there was
He would
Hindu
say,
Muslim riots.
he would say that when he was a child, there were Hindu-Muslim riots.
And he saw that people in the street were killing each other,
And he saw that people in the street were killing each other.
and it was actually a Muslim took him and protected him.
And it was actually a Muslim taking and protecting him.
And so he was, saying how this horrible time.
So he would say how it would be a horrible time.
And then he said that Gandhiji was not really a serious threat for the British.
And he said that Gandhiji was not really a serious threat for the British.
But Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, he was the real one who got the Indian independence.
But Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was the one who really got the Indians' independence.
Because he made a deal with the Japanese and the Russians, and then the Germans.
Because he made a deal with the Japanese and the Germans.
That the Indian army who was fighting for the British,
That the Indian army that was fighting for the British,
they could cross over,
they cross over,
and they would be sent back by the Nazi forces
and they would be sent back by the Nazi forces
to fight the British in India.
to fight the British in India.
So this was a big problem.
So this was a
Big problem.
big problem.
Because one, they couldn't depend on the Indians in the battle.
Because one, they couldn't depend on the Indians in the battle.
And two is that if they came back, the Indians fought
And two is that if they came back to India and fought
against the British.
against the British,
That was another problem.
that was another problem.
So, like that, Prabhupada was giving some comment.
So like that, Prabhupada was giving some comment.
He talked how he was working as a general manager for the days of our pharmaceutical company.
Then he told how he was working as a general manager in some pharmaceutical company.
And how as days Lindemann, he had made some of his own products.
And how in days,
His company name was Dave.
his government name was Day, how he made some his own products.
And then he moved to Allahabad.
But then he moved to Allahabad.
And he would regularly go and attend Bhaktisiddhanta's class in Allahabad and Vrindavan.
And he would regularly go and attend Bhaktisiddhanta's class in Allahabad and Vrindavan.
Om Vishnupad Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur
Om Vishnupad Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur
was by that time his surrendered, he was his surrendered disciple.
Was by that time he was his surrendered disciple.
But he thought that when I take initiation, I should be.
But he thought, when I take initiation, I should be
fully purified.
Fully purified.
Like a perfect disciple.
The perfect disciple.
Perfect. And so he was holding off on taking initiation.
That's why he was holding off on taking initiation.
He held out for about 10 years.
He held out for about 10 years.
And then someone told him.
And then someone told him.
One of his godbrothers.
One of his godbrothers.
That you can never achieve perfection without the mercy of your Guru.
That you can never achieve perfection without the mercy of your Guru.
And so then he took initiation from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada.
So then he took initiation from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada.
I saw the pharmacy that he had previously.
I saw the pharmacy that he had previously.
I don't know exactly where his residence was.
I don't know exactly where his residence was.
But he had said that the house was so designed.
But he said that the house was so designed
that there was a guest room.
That there was a guest room.
Which he would have different visiting sannyasis, Gaudiya sannyasis stay
in which he would have different visiting sannyasis, Gaudiya sannyasis stay in.
And they could enter and exit at a doorway to the outside.
And they could enter and exit through a doorway to the outside.
Without going to the house.
Without going to his house.
So they had their privacy.
So they had their privacy.
And he had his privacy as a grihasta.
And he had his privacy as a grihasta.
But he wanted that house was specifically, that room was specifically for the preachers.
But that house was specific in that that room was specifically for the preachers.
He even confessed my mistakes. So at that time, Bhakti Rakhak Sridhar Maharaj.
At that time, Bhakti Rakhak Sridhar Maharaj.
He used to go to frequently to his house and stay in that room.
He would go frequently to his house and stay in that room.
And then they go out and preach.
And then they'd go out and preach.
So in this way, he was always close to the preachers.
So in this way, he was always close to the preachers.
He told how one time.
He told how one time.
That they announced he was on a parikrama with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada.
That he was on a parikrama with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada.
And they announced that they're taking out some party to such and such place.
And they announced that they're taking out somebody to such and such place.
and whoever wanted they could come.
And whoever wanted, they could come.
But also, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they give a class.
And also, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would give a class.
And those who wanted could stay.
And those who wanted could stay.
So he was staying to get a class.
So he was staying in the class.
He thought, I've gone to this Dikka many times, but I only can hear him sometimes.
He thought, I've gone for this parikrama many times, but I can only hear his class this time.
So I was in the crowd listening,
So he was in the crowd sitting,
and then someone came and tapped him.
and then someone came and tapped him.
I looked aside,
He looked to the side,
and then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, you don't need to hear?
and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said,
You don't need to hear?
you don't need to hear?
And then it felt so good because he thought the Guru recognized me.
And he felt so good because he thought the Guru recognized him.
And the Guru cares
The Guru cares
whether I listen or not.
whether I listen or not.
So he was telling us this story.
So he was telling us this story.
Then I had a similar story,
Then I had a similar story,
but I failed.
but I failed.
I had agreed to go with Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Gargamuni,
I agreed to go with Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Gargamuni
to see Radha Kunda and the Giri Govardhan.
to see Radha Kund and Giri Govardhan.
But Prabhupada's class was going late,
But Prabhupada's class was going late.
so I was staying listening to the class.
So I was sitting listening to the class
I kept sending people in.
and kept sending people in.
I kept tapping me.
And they kept tapping me.
And I thought, I heard Prabhupada.
And I thought I should hear Prabhupada.
But then Tamal Krishna sent a message, come on, hurry up.
But then Tamal Krishna sent a message, come on, hurry up.
So I bowed down and went.
So I bowed down and went.
That was the worst, absolutely worst journey I ever had.
That was the worst journey I ever had.
There was a fallen tree, a roadblock across the road.
There was a fallen tree as a roadblock across the road.
There was bottles with rainwater from the previous night.
There was bottles with,
Potholes.
there was potholes of rainwater from the previous night.
The car broke down.
The car broke down.
I mean, almost everything that could go wrong went wrong.
I mean, almost everything that could go wrong went wrong.
I said, why didn't we stay and listen to Prabhupada's class?
I said, why didn't we stay and listen to Prabhupada's class?
And everybody said, yeah, you're right.
And everybody said, yeah, you're right.
But there you were in the middle of nowhere.
But there you were,
In the middle of Raj, anyway.
in the middle of Raj.
Broken car, roadblock, this, that.
A broken car, roadblock, this, that.
Neither we could reach Govardhan or we didn't hear the class.
Neither could we reach Govardhan, nor could we hear the class.
I may regret telling this, but truth is the truth. I may regret
telling this, but the truth is the truth.
I failed.
I failed.
So like that, we had many tests,
So like that, we had many tests,
but some we failed.
but some we failed.
Prabhupada, he told us about the ones he test.
And Prabhupada, he told us,
I think he told us all.
I think he told us go.
And he test.
And
But we failed.
it was a test, but we failed.
And I said, wind that.
And we wind back.
Because I jumped ahead there. So I heard this second hand, so I'm not so clear. Something about
I heard the second half, but I'm not so clear. Something about second hand.
I think it's not clear in my mind.
It's not clear in my mind.
But the King of England at that time,
But the King of England at that time,
he said his name, but I forget the name.
he said his name, but I forgot the name.
He came and visited India,
He came and visited India,
and all the school children were lined up on the road,
and all the school children were lined up on the road,
and they were waving a little flag and stuff,
and they were waving little flags and stuff.
and they saw the king go by.
And we saw the king go by.
He had a beard.
He had a beard.
He would make a comment that to some devotee who was doing chaturmas, you look like that king.
We would make a comment that if some devotee was following Chaturmas, we would say, "You look like that king."
That
Reminds me
that regarding the chaturmas, why we don't all grow our beards.
that during Chaturmas, why we don't all grow our beards.
Well, the Gaudiyas do.
Well, the Gaudiyas do.
Prabhupada, he was saying that
Prabhupada, he was saying that
if you do the fast,
if you do the fast,
it makes sense to grow your beard.
then it makes sense to grow a beard.
You don't cut your nails, you don't shave, you don't eat certain things.
You don't cut your nails, you don't shave, you don't eat certain things.
But the Gaudiyas, they don't eat eggplant or something.
But devotees, they don't eat eggplant or something.
No, the Gaudiyas.
The Gaudiyas, they don't eat eggplant or something.
Big deal.
Big deal.
And they grow a beard, they don't eat eggplant.
You grow a beard because you don't eat eggplant?
So he said you grow a beard,
So he said if you grow a beard,
you have to do the full fast.
you'll do the full fast.
It's Harishanan song.
Havishanna and so on.
Kind of a very simple prasad.
Very simple prasad.
And 1 year we were busy here building the project.
And 1 year, we were busy here building the project.
So we thought, well, we could do the chaturmas.
So we thought, well, we can do the Chaturmas.
And 3 months we took this khichdi of banana leaves.
And for 3 months, we took just khichdi with bananas.
On
Banana leaves.
And the 4th month,
And the 4th month,
we ate it off the floor
we ate off the floor
and had our hands behind our back.
and had our hands behind our back.
Like a cow would eat it.
And a cow would eat.
Very humbling. very humbly.
Very? Very humbly.
Have you ever done it?
Have you ever done it?
You couldn't take lunch. I had to breathe too.
I couldn't take a breath. I had to breathe too.
They said once you get up, you can't eat more.
They said, once you get up, you can't eat anymore.
I don't know who makes these rules, but
I don't know who makes these rules, but
I once asked the Pandit,
I once asked the Pandit,
why do we have these restrictions on Ekadasi?
why do we have these restrictions on Ekadashi?
And I said, well,
And he said, well,
there's no restriction in the Shastra.
there's no restriction in the Shastra.
But the Shastra doesn't also say you can't eat it.
But the Shastra doesn't also say that you can eat.
So just to ban all food that's not mentioned in the Shastra.
So just
Ban all food.
ban all food is not mentioned in the Shastra.
No. All food that is not mentioned in the Shastra is a bit extreme.
All food that is not mentioned in the Shastra, it's a bit extreme.
Anyway, so then we reported to Prabhupada at the end of the Damodar month.
So then, we reported to Prabhupada at the end of the Damodar month.
We had our beard,
We had our beard,
following the Chaturmas the real way.
we were following the Chaturmas in the real way.
Then Tamal Krishna walked up,
And then Tamal Krishna walked up,
said, Prabhupada said, shave up.
and he said, Prabhupada said, shave up.
In retrospect, I don't know whether Prabhupada really said to shave up.
The thing is, I don't really know if Prabhupada said to shave up.
Or it was Tamal Krishna's brotherly rivalry.
Or if it was Tamal Krishna's brotherly rivalry.
But anyway, it wasn't something that was so important.
Anyway, it was
Not so important.
not so important.
So, it's already an hour.
So it's already been an hour.
What do you think? Is it too boring?
What do you think? It's too boring?
Tomorrow, should I tell more? There's another place to sit on the other side
There's more place to sit on the other side.
if you're getting wet here.
You'll get wet here.
It's auspicious that the Rath Yatra brought rain.
It's auspicious that the Rath Yatra brought rain.
Indra was happy with your yoga.
Indra was happy for the Yatra.
There's a place on Parikrama, but every party that doesn't go that way.
There's a place on Parikrama, but every party doesn't go that way.
That's called Megachara.
It's called
Megachara.
Rangachara. Megachara.
That there's a kirtan party going on.
But there was a kirtan party going on.
And then suddenly a rain cloud came,
And suddenly a rain cloud came.
started to rain on the kirtan party.
And it started to rain on the kirtan party.
And then Lord Chaitanya lifted his kartals,
And then Lord Chaitanya lifted his kartals
played them,
and played them.
and blew them away.
And the cloud went away.
Gauranga. I still have lots to tell.
I still have lots to tell.
Today was morning book distribution class.
But today was morning book distribution class.
Co-directors meeting on my
Co-directors meeting in Mayapur.
Then I came late to the congregational award ceremony.
Then I came late to the Congregational Development Award ceremony.
And then then we had the inauguration of the Rath Yatras.
Then we had the inauguration of the Rath Yatra.
And then our class here.
And then class here.
And I have 2 more interviews.
And I have 2 more interviews
That I know about. And they told me tomorrow is a hectic day.
They told me tomorrow is a hectic day.
I should sleep 9 hours.
I should sleep 9 hours.
In conclusion,
So in conclusion,
Lord Chaitanya, when he was just a child,
Lord Chaitanya, when he was just a child,
he wanted to study.
he wanted to study.
His father was a bit fearful
But his father was a bit fearful
that his older brother Vishwarup had taken sannyas.
that his older brother Vishwarup had taken sannyas.
So he was afraid that maybe Lord Chaitanya would take sannyas.
So he was afraid that maybe Lord Chaitanya would take sannyas.
He known as Vishwambar
He was known as Vishwambhar
or Nilai.
or Nimai.
So he told Nilai that you don't have to study anymore.
So he told Nimai that you don't have to study anymore.
You just stay home.
Just stay home.
I'll take care of you.
I'll take care of you.
I'll give you whatever you need.
I'll give you whatever you need.
But Lord Chaitanya wanted to study.
But Lord Chaitanya wanted to study.
So, did I tell this story here?
So I don't know. Did I tell this story here?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
At the same time, Lord Chaitanya
At the same time, Lord Chaitanya
would not disobey his father.
would not disobey his father.
He followed the principle that you should obey your parents.
He followed the principle that you should obey your parents.
But he wasn't happy.
But he wasn't happy.
So he became very mischievous.
So he became very mischievous.
And all night
And all night
he would hang out with the mischievous boys.
he would hang out with the mischievous boys.
And they'd play different pranks on the other grihastas.
And they would play different pranks on the other grihastas.
Sometimes they'd put some cloth over 2 of them
Sometimes they put some cloth over 2 of them
and make sounds like a bull.
and make the sounds of a bull
And run into their garden and break down all the plants.
And they'd enter their garden and break down all the plants.
And the house would come out, bull, bull!
The householder would come out, bull, bull,
And they'd run off.
and they'd run off.
So, sometimes he would go in, he was like 8 years old.
So sometimes he would go. He was 8 years old.
And he wanted to study.
He wanted to study.
I sprinkled some water in the ear of the baby.
So he'd sprinkle some water in the ear of a baby.
No, it didn't hurt the baby.
It didn't hurt the baby,
But the baby starts crying.
but the baby starts crying.
Ah! The mother comes running,
The mother comes running
trying to figure out what's wrong.
to try to figure out what's wrong.
They're doing all these things.
So he was doing all these things.
At night,
At night,
in those days, the people would use the outhouse.
in those days, people would use the outhouse.
No attached bath.
No attached bath.
Yeah, everybody sees their room. Do I have an attached bath?
Everybody sees in the room. Do I have an attached bath?
No. No attached bath, and no outhouse.
No attached bath, then outhouse.
So he would lock the door from the outside.
He would lock the door from the outside.
So the house would get up at night to answer nature's call.
So the grihastha would get up at night to answer nature's call.
Hi, who locked the door?
Hey, who locked the door?
Hey, come on!
Hey, hey.
And there's no, being in that situation where you have to go and there's nowhere to go,
Being in that situation where you have to go and there's nowhere to go.
it's an undesirable situation.
It's an undesirable situation.
So this is how Lord Chaitanya was passing his days.
So this was how Lord Chaitanya was passing his days.
And people were complaining to Jagannath Mishra,
And people were complaining to Jagannath Mishra.
but he held his ground.
But he held his ground.
He didn't entertain any complaint.
He didn't entertain any of them.
So then Lord Chaitanya sat on the clay pots.
So then Lord Chaitanya sat on the clay pots.
In those days, ladies would cook on clay pots
In those days, ladies would cook on clay pots
and no washing pots.
and no washing pots.
How do you say? Discardable.
Discardable.
Cook and throw.
They cook and they throw.
Good system, right?
Good system, right?
Now burnt dal or rice for lunch.
We make dal and rice and give it out.
No burnt dal.
Oh. No burnt dal and rice.
Rub out the bottom. Rub out the bottom.
Rub out the bottom.
So but that place was considered impure.
But that place was considered impure.
They dig a ditch,
They would dig a ditch,
throw the terracotta cooking ware there.
and throw the terracotta cooking ware.
So that might be ants and other things.
So that maybe the ants and other things.
So Lord Chaitanya was golden colored,
So Lord Chaitanya was golden colored.
and the earthen pots had soot on the bottom.
and the earthen pots had soot on the bottom.
So some of that soot came on his face, his arm,
So some of that soot came on his face, on his garments,
and he looked very beautiful,
and he looked very beautiful.
gold with black
Gold with black
soot.
soot.
Mother says, "What are you doing? This unclean place.
His mother was saying, "What are you doing, sitting in this unclean place?
You're a Brahmin boy. Have you learned this unclean?"
You're a Brahmin boy. Haven't you learned that this is unclean?"
He said, "I don't go to school.
He said, "I don't go to school.
How do I know?"
How would I know?"
I don't know what's clean, unclean. I don't know my ABC, nothing.
I don't know what's clean, unclean. I don't know my ABCs, nothing.
When we go to school, I'll learn all this.
If you let me go to school, I'll learn all this.
And then Mother Sachi said, no, you shouldn't stay here.
And then Mother Sachi said, no, you should stay here.
No, you shouldn't stay here.
You shouldn't stay here.
And I said, you bring my father.
Bring my father.
Let him take me off and go to school.
Let him take me out and go to school.
But then Mother Sachi grabbed hold of his hand
But then Mother Sachi grabbed hold of his hand
and took him down the Ganges to bathe.
and took him down to the Ganges to bathe.
So she went in the water
So she went in the water
and bathed him.
and bathed him.
Meanwhile, Jagannath Mishra came down,
Meanwhile, Jagannath Mishra came down,
and at first he was angry,
and at first he was angry.
but the local neighbors, friends,
But the local neighbors, friends,
they told him, "Why don't you let your son go to school?
they told him, "Why don't you let your son go to school?
Our sons, our children, we wish they would go, we wish they'd study, but they always want to play around."
Our sons, our children, we wish they would go, we wish they would study, but they just play around.
You know, you have a son, he wants to go, so you should let him go.
You have a son, he wants to go, you should let him go.
This is a very good fortune.
This is a very good fortune."
So then Jagannath Mishra said,
So then Jagannath Mishra said,
one said, he's serious, it's time to give him the Upanayana,
they said, "He's serious, it's time to give him an Upanayanam,
a sacred thread ceremony.
the sacred thread ceremony."
So Jagannath Mishra said, you're all well-wishers.
So Jagannath Mishra said, "You're all well-wishers.
So I'll accept what you say.
So I will accept what you say
And let him go to school.
and let him go to school."
Hare Bol. Go,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,